Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. This is Prep Texas. Today we're going to talk about the long-term survival bag. So the long-term survival bag has a lot of contents, as you can see. But if you're looking to survive for a long period of time, maybe bugging out to survive indefinitely, then this is definitely a great setup to have. So we're going to go over kind of how I loaded out my long-term survival bag, a couple wild cards that you might want to throw in there, maybe give you guys some ideas on how to set up a loadout like this. So let's jump right in. First, let's talk about the bag. The Teton Explorer 4000 is a 65-liter internal frame pack with features like a sleeping bag compartment, multi-directional compression straps, and a ton of pockets and compartments. It also comes with side straps and the ability to hold axes or even rifles. Its price is pretty reasonable at only $85. You can find it on Amazon or like websites. So if you're looking for a long-term pack, something that can hold everything you have, definitely check out the Teton Explorer 4000. Alright, so there's a lot of things to cover in this bag, and we're going to kind of go through different categories to try to get through everything as quickly as possible, but as thoroughly as possible. The first thing we're going to talk about is some of the tools. So you can see I have a wood saw, a machete here. I have a different one I actually keep in there, an axe, and then these bolt cutters. Now it might be hard to justify the weight of these things, but if you have to get through chains or a lock or something, then they're definitely worth having. And then you're going to want a way to process wood. I like these folding saws. They seem to be pretty handy and fairly cheap, and I like to keep an axe or tomahawk for self-protection reasons and for processing wood. And then I definitely like keeping a machete with me if I'm going to go through the woods. If I'm going to be bushwhacking, this is the only way to go. And this Fiskars seems to be the best one that I've found yet. It's very high quality, it stays very sharp, and makes processing wood very easy. When it comes to shelter, these military ponchos are pretty useful and very versatile. You can cover yourself, your pack, or make a makeshift tent with it. But I like to add a tarp to insulate myself from the ground, a wool blanket to insulate my body heat even if it's moist, and this little compression pillow here that folds up into pretty much nothing. Makes it a whole lot more comfortable. Last thing I would recommend taking a look at is maybe a full-size mosquito net, as mosquitoes suck when you're trying to sleep in a survival situation. Now when it comes to water filtration, I like to keep some redundancy. I like to keep a few different containers, like this canteen here that's multi-use with a metal cup that you can cook out of. And I also like to keep a water bladder as a redundancy for ease. When it comes to water filtration, I like to also keep redundancies. So I keep these iodine tablets as well as a Sawyer Mini. And this is a very versatile, useful system for filtering your water. So definitely check those products out. Now I'm going to be brief kind of on the medical supplies. I definitely think you should have a blowout kit, a tourniquet, and some kind of boo-boo kit. But check out channels like Skinny Medic or Bear Independent if you want a more in-depth look at first aid. I do like to keep some type of signaling devices with me. So here I have an Orion handheld marine flare as well as a smoke signal. You can get these at like the fishing section at Academy or Walmart. I also keep some chem lights in case I need to try to signal someone in a low light environment. And then this little headlamp here that has a red light mode, so if I'm looking at maps or if I need to signal. When it comes to safety gear, I like to keep hearing protection and eye protection. These are the Walker razors, and they seem to have proven pretty good for me so far. I like these glasses with the foam inserts on the back because they'll filter out dust and things and kind of stick to your head pretty good. And I like to keep foamies as well, just as some extra added protection. But definitely keep some PPE when it comes to a long-term survival. Protect your hearing and protect your sight. Now, I've used this BK18 for quite a long time, and you guys watch my channel know that I love this knife. It's a very well built design by K-Bar and Ethan Becker, and it has proven to be a very tough and versatile knife in my long-term system. When it comes to navigation, there's only a few things that I would recommend you keep. The main thing when it comes to navigation is learn how to read maps and learn how to pace yourself through different terrains. I definitely recommend having some kind of ranger bead, some kind of quality compass of some sort, and some kind of waterproof protective case for your maps. If you would like to have a protractor if you're working with grid topographical maps, that's great too. But definitely keep some navigational gear with you. When it comes to backup power, I keep one of these solar chargers, and I try to keep different rechargeable flashlights with me instead of having to use through batteries. These things come in handy with this little bar that'll tell you how much power you have left, as well as a small flashlight on the end of it that'll kind of come in use if you need to. So these little solar chargers are a great thing to keep if you don't want to carry around a bunch of batteries. However, I do recommend having extra batteries for different devices like handheld flashlights. When it comes to utility, there's a few things that I recommend keeping. First is cordage. I like to use 550 paracord as it's very strong, and then some type of zip ties. Also keep some kind of gun cleaning kit to keep your weapons clean, and some kind of extra flashlight as a handheld light to walk around with. I also recommend keeping different kinds of tape, and I like to keep a small snare kit to make snares for game, and some kind of patch kit for your bags or clothes. I like to keep a couple extra pair of socks and some underwear. I would recommend some good wool socks that are going to insulate your feet even if they get damp, and then maybe some type of head warmer like a beanie. Personal hygiene is a big thing during SHTF. I recommend definitely keeping some type of wipes to take like a bird bath, some toilet paper for, well, you know what, and then some toothpaste and a toothbrush and perhaps some Q-tips and razors, just to try to keep yourself clean and healthy during a survival situation. Now when it comes to fire, you definitely need to make a thorough kit and have some redundant ways to make fire. I recommend having something like cotton balls and Vaseline as a tinder, a ferrocerium rod, different sources of fire like matches and lighters, and even a torch. Cookingware is going to be important during a survival situation. This is a mess kit that breaks down and has different kind of fuel that you can use in case you don't need a big fire during a survival situation. I recommend trying to find some kind of mess kit like this that tucks away, and perhaps keeping different types of fuel so you can make food in different situations. Also, I keep a pair of these gloves for heat so I can take things on and off without burning my hands. And I like to keep one of these multi-tools that kind of breaks into a spoon, a fork, and a knife. I'm not going to go in too much detail about the type of food I recommend carrying, but definitely do your research on survival and the things that you could be eating during a long-term survival scenario. One of the things I'd like to throw in there is something for the morale. Even just a basic card game or something around a campfire can definitely help the morale. And these Ust Playing Cards are waterproof, and they have useful survival tips on each card, and they come in this awesome little plastic case here to protect them, and I think that they're a great add-in to a long-term survival bag to keep you and your family in good spirits. If you're going to have a sidearm in a long-term survival situation, I recommend having plenty of magazines and plenty of extra ammo as well. I recommend different calibers for survival, so think about having a smaller caliber like a 22. If you're going to carry a large rifle, then perhaps try this CMMG 22 long rifle conversion kit. It's going to turn your AR-15 into a 22 rifle that can take small game and is much quieter and useful for survival. If that's something that's not an option for you, then I definitely think that you should get a dedicated 22 weapon, kind of like this bolt action rifle here, just to take small game and have a very light, inexpensive ammo that can be carried in plenty during a survival situation. So thanks again guys for stopping by. This is my take on a long-term survival kit. Please leave down in the comments what you think that I missed or what you would do different than I did. If you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It's going to help us with the YouTube algorithm. and help us continue to grow. Thanks for all of your support throughout the time. Go get yourself a long-term survival bag set up and be ready for SHTF, just like we are. This is Prep Texas, signing off.